Hey there, boss lady. It is Angela here. If you want to build a thriving community and you have no idea where to start, or perhaps you already have a community and you want to build it bigger and better for your members, I have great news for you. You are in the right place. Today, I'm going to reveal to you the top 5 steps that you need to take to build an engaging and active community. I call that a thriving community without all of the overwhelmed. And it's all coming up right now. So today I'm going to deep dive into the 5 steps that you need to take. And I want to just quickly go over what each step consists of. And then I promise you in just a bit, I'll deep dive into each and every step. So if you have a pen and a paper or your favorite notes app, we're about to go all in. The steps to build your thriving community all boil down to 5 specific steps. And remember, I'll deep dive into each one of those in just a bit. But let's go over what those 5 are. Create, establish, commit, assemble, and my favorite, monetize. Step 1 to building your thriving community is to create consistent, valuable content. Now, without consistent, valuable content, you won't really have a community that people will want to gravitate to, that will be excited to jump into. And there is a specific way to actually create that consistent, valuable content. And here's how. There are 2 questions that I want you to answer. Question number 1 is, who do you help? And question number 2 is, what do you help them do? Every time you create content for your community, always lean on those 2 questions. If you always start with who do you help and what do you help them do, your content will be consistent and it will be valuable to your audience. But there are 2 more questions I want you to consider when you are creating this consistent, valuable content of yours. Number 3 is, how do you help them do it? So if you know who you help and what you help them do, when you're building your thriving community, consider how you're going to help them do that thing. And the 4th question, which is quite possibly the most important question of all, especially in terms of monetizing, is why should they do this thing with you? So step 1 to build your thriving community is make sure you build consistent, valuable content. Step 2 to build your thriving community is to establish a clear and authentic brand identity. Most people think a brand just consists of the colors of their company, the logo of their company, the tagline, the messaging, and all that is true. But there is a part of your brand identity that needs to be clear and authentic, and it won't even come from you, honey. It's going to come from your audience. Here's what I mean by that. I want who you help and what do you help them do to be so very clear. You are known for doing that thing in the communities, in the audiences, in the world, so that you're not the only one that's saying it. When you're saying it in your videos, in your podcast, in your social media posts, in your blog, in your newsletter, and that's all great. But a true, clear, and authentic brand identity that really counts, it's when other people, your audience, your community says these things about you. That's where you want to get. Now, when it comes to brand identity from this perspective, there are 3 things that people talk about when they're spending their money or when they are connecting with a brand. They talk about a goal that they were able to achieve. They talk about a problem that was solved, or they talk about how they were actually guided to their happy place. And when they're talking about these things, if you are included in that conversation, that is the kind of clear and authentic brand identity that you want, honey. So let me give you an example of what that looks like. So let's say a person in law school wants to pass the bar exam, and they were talking to someone on campus about how they aced the bar exam the first time. What do they want to do? They wanted to achieve a goal. And you are in that conversation. That's a clear and authentic brand identity, because they shouted to the rooftop about how they were able to pass the first time and your name came up. Whether you are helping someone achieve a goal or helping someone solve a problem or literally guiding someone to their happy place, either way, your name needs to come up in that conversation when they're talking about what they were able to accomplish. So step 2 is establish a clear and authentic brand identity. Step 3 to build your thriving community is to commit to lifelong learning and staying ahead of trends. This is the one that most people skip over when they build their community. They get the work done, but then they forget the very important part that keeps the community alive, thriving. This is the part that makes it thrive, because now you are a lifelong learner and you are staying ahead of trends. What does that look like? Well, that looks like you are always on top of whatever it is you are teaching your audience or your community to do. And you need to be able to do it a step ahead of them all the time, because they're looking to you for guidance to achieve that goal, to solve that problem, to bring them to their happy place. Let me explain it to you like this. Have you ever had an issue with your car, but you don't know anything about cars? That would be this girl. So if I would go to a mechanic, I would say, something is going on with my car. Every time I crank it on, I hear boom, boom. Okay? Beep, beep, boom, boom. And this is how I'm explaining the problem, because I don't know anything about cars. I'm just giving the mechanic sound effects. So he's listening, and then he begins to say, oh, I know, that sounds like the catalytic converter. And the reason why that's happening to the catalytic converter, because it connects to the blank, blank, blank. And then the catalytic converter, if it doesn't connect to the blank, blank, blank appropriately, then that's when the catalytic converter is going to go beep, beep, boom, boom. Now, I'm listening to him like, this man is a genius. There is nothing else I need to say to him other than, where can I swipe my card? Because he was able to explain to me in detail everything I needed to get my problem solved. From some sound effects, I'm good. And why was he able to do that? Because he's a lifelong learner and he stays ahead of the trends. He knows the newest issues that are going to come out with this catalytic converter situation. And he knew ahead of time it was coming, and people were going to start coming in with this catalytic converter issue. Right? So whenever you get ready to connect and message your audience, you are talking about their problem and explaining their problem and describing their problem with all their beep, boom, boom, right? You get it, right? So step 3 is to committing to lifelong learning and staying ahead of trends so that you can continue to serve your members. Now, the 4th step to building a thriving community is to assemble a culture of supportive and engaged members. Y'all, boss lady, girlfriends, this is the most important, even though they're all important. And I'm probably going to say that for everyone, but I love this part so much because that's going to keep your community in a continuous, thriving state. And that is the culture of the community. Now, I know a little bit about communities, not because I have my own thriving community, Cura Circle, but I taught for 18 years, and there is no way you can be an effective teacher if you don't learn how to build a community. So what do I mean about a culture for supportive and engaged members? My classroom, when I was a teacher, was always moving and shaking going on. Either I was connecting with the students, or I guided and led the students to connect with each other. So it was nothing on any given day for me to say in the middle of the lesson, I want everybody to stand up, I want you to turn around 3 times, and I want you to repeat after me, and then I will repeat the thing I want them to learn. Then I want you to sit down. Right? Why? Because the engagement with me and the engagement with each other mattered. On another occasion, I might say, give your neighbor a high five and repeat after me what I said. Why? Because this is the support and the encouragement and the inspiration and motivation that my students gave each other. Same thing in a community that we build to help someone achieve a goal, solve a problem, or bring them to their happy place. We engage with them and engage them with each other to be supportive, to be inspired and empowered, all the while giving them the tactical information that they need to do the thing that they joined your community to do. I gave you an example of how I did it in the classroom. Let me show you a way that you can do it in your community. One way is to gamify. In other words, the actions that you provide in your community can be scoreable. Members can earn points and badges to complete those items. And while you're on the path of gamifying, which is actually rewarding members for their awesome behavior inside of the community, reward them double points for connecting with someone else. Get it? Now, one of the things that I do in my community is that every day I have a theme for our daily discussions. I post content for Motivation Monday, Touch Point Tuesday, Wealth Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, and Fix It Friday. Why am I doing this? Because I want to make sure that my members are getting something out of the community other than the tactical information that I provide. I want them to be supportive and I want them to engage. Another way that I make sure that I assemble a culture of supportive and engaged members are events. So I have loads of events in my community. The continuous, ongoing, and recurring events are the weekly check-ins. They happen every week on Thursdays. But then I also have recurring events called pop-up workshops, where I would teach a specific strategy that a woman must use to build her community. But I also have special events like end of the quarter celebrations. Events make my members feel so supported, like they're not alone. Do you not know that the number one need for women in business is support? Well, you get that in the Cura circle. We always create ways for you to succeed in the circle. So if you want to build a thriving community, pay attention to step 4. That is assemble a culture of supportive and engaged members. Let's go to step 5, and that is monetize that expertise of yours, and you're going to monetize it through your community. Let's dive in. So step 5 is to monetize your expertise through your community based on what I call the 3 C's. And the 3 C's are your core, your chest, and your cycle. Those are the 3 C's of building your community. The better way to show you is to pop over into the community and tell you just exactly what I mean by that. So now we are here over in my community. And if I head over to the Creator Workspace, I'll be able to tell you all about those 3 C's. We have 3 sections here. We have our Creator Core. Let's go through the Creator Core first. Now, I talked about the Creator Core earlier in step 1. It is at the heart of every successful business. It is a fundamental component that sets the stage for building your business model and your business brand. And so once you understand who you help, what do you help them do, and how do you help them do it, and also why they should do it with you, your core is set. You're going to use this core to start building your community. And then if we go back over to the Creator Workspace, you'll see here that the next section is the Creator Chest. Now, the Creator Chest is kind of like a tool chest or a treasure chest. And in this chest is all of the tools that you will use. It's also known as your tool stack that you will use to build your community. Your Creator Chest can be as extensive as you need it to be. However, there are 3 things that are not negotiable. And those are number 1, your website/community, where people will log in to actually get to the community. Number 2, some type of email platform or email software that you can use to nurture your audience to become a member and as well stay connected to your members outside of the connection that you have inside of your membership. The email service that I use for my Creator Chest is ConvertKit. And the third is some type of graphic design software. I use Canva, and everything that you see inside all my graphic assets that you see inside the community, I use Canva to build it. Now, those are the 3 main tools you need in your Creator Chest. Again, they are your website/community for your members to access or log into your community. Number 2 is an email service platform like ConvertKit that I use, but ConvertKit is not the only one. You have Constant Contact, MailChimp, but I find ConvertKit is the one that truly gets creators the most. And then the third is some type of graphic design software for you to get all of your assets created for your community. Now, if we head back over to the Creator Workspace, you'll see here that not only do we have the Creator Core, the Creator Chest that I talked about, we also have the Creator Cycle. Now, the Creator Cycle is where you're going to actually activate all of the systems that you create to actually run your community. There are 4 parts of the cycle that I created, and I named it BMW. BMW stands for the Business Model Workflow. And in this business model workflow that I created, there are 4 steps that you're going to rinse and repeat in this cycle: educate, lead, sell, and support. And I have quite a few videos to talk about the BMW and how you can use it. You have to have a cycle that you rinse and repeat, that you do consistently and repeatedly as a system to run and monetize your business. As a teacher for 18 years, the one key takeaway in my skill set was to teach my students how to learn, how to get things done. And I bring a lot of that skill set into being a content creator to teach my audience how to do the thing, how to get the thing done. The 3 C's are something that you can remember, and it is an easy way to implement. Remember, the 3 C's of monetizing your community are your core, your chest, and your cycle. And we can do this work together inside of the Cura circle. So how about we do that? How about you and I work on your business together? But not just work on your business, we're going to work on it in a very specific way. We're going to organize, systemize, and monetize your business in the form of a community. Now, I have a 7-day all-access pass for $7. You'll be surprised on what you can accomplish in 7 days, especially if everything is laid out for you, just like I laid out for you in the Cura circle. The link is in the description for you to go ahead and grab that offer, and you can get started today. So what are the 5 ways to build a thriving community? Create, establish, commit, assemble. Did my hands go right? Let's try that one more time. Create, establish, commit, assemble, and monetize. Now, you're going to do all of that right here in the Creator Workspace inside of Cura Circle, and you can get started today for $7. Everything that you need to understand this process is inside of the circle. All you need to do is click the link in the description and you are well on your way. I am always adding more and more content for you. I will never stop creating content for you to succeed in business. Now you have the 5 steps to build a thriving community, but don't go anywhere yet, because I have another video up here that I want you to click on, and that video is how to build a thriving community that lasts. You can build one, because I literally told you how to build one, but now you got to make it last. Go ahead and click on the next video, and I will see you next Thursday for another episode of the Boss Lady Creator Playbook. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if there's anything I said today that's going to help you get one step further toward that profitable online business of yours. Okay, the video is ready for you now. Go ahead and click on it, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye for now.